Who here has hit a roadblock in your love life? Today we're helping you get on the right track. Join us to weigh in on love life woes is certified sex educator, relationship expert, and the author of The Game of Desire, 5 Surprising Secrets to Dating with Dominance and Getting What You Want. Please welcome Shan Boodram back to the show.
Hey.
Welcome.
Dating with
great
Dominance.
to have you. First question comes from Nellie Christine, who happens to be joining us today. Welcome. What's going on?
Thank you.
Hey, Nellie.
Hi. So I have been with my husband for 9 years, married for 3, and I want to have sex, but I'm kind of feeling like I'm losing a little bit of that lust and that passion. So I'm wondering, is this normal for married women, and what can I do to spice things up?
It's completely natural. And I think as love transforms from passionate to companionate, you have to make an adjustment. So when you first get into a relationship, you're on a roller coaster. It's hands up and enjoy the ride. All of your brain chemicals are doing all the work for you. But then it turns from a roller coaster into the car. Now you have to manually decide, how fast am I going? How are we gonna get there? And of course you have to work together. So really directly asking your partner what sparks gets you in the mood. And then in return, having him ask you what works for you. And you guys working together to acknowledge that maybe you don't have that rip your clothes off fire, but you can still make that spark together.
So Nellie, was this something that kind of changed over time? Were you very into him sexually before and now you're feeling like it's starting to slow, or has it always been that way?
Yeah, I think that it's changed over time. In the very beginning, I found him to be, a sexual person, and I liked that. I was exploring myself. And I feel maybe work and stress and ambition and all that just kind of bogs me down a little.
Yeah, so sometimes when people have a lower sexual desire, we are just wanting you to kind of check out, is it something more clinical, like hypoactive sexual desire disorder? That means somebody has persistently low sex drive for over 6 months, but that it actually significantly impairs them in some way, like it's getting in the way of a quality relationship with your husband, for example. And this is something that's a little bit more serious. It means that it's not just necessarily about relationship issues or stress, but maybe there's an underlying medical or even psychological cause to it. Sometimes hormonal shifts can cause that for a period of time until you address that. That could be an issue. Or if you have a lot of anxiety, sometimes that does get in the way of your sex life to the point that it starts to trigger symptoms like a hypoactive sexual desire disorder. But before getting there, it sounds like there's a lot of more like communication stuff, as Shan was already mentioning, and also just kind of being in a routine. I feel like we get in a routine and we sort of take it for granted almost. And you have to do things to try to make it different. It doesn't have to be a vacation, but it's like a different room of the house. It's a date, yeah.
Flowers,
just time where
candles.
you're really connecting and you're getting outside of that house environment where maybe there's a certain type of way that you go about your daily lives and you just forgot about the sex part.
When you've been together 9 years, I mean, that's a long
You hit it
time.
on the nose, to be honest. I think that's what it is. I am in a great relationship, and I think that that's what we're missing.
Congratulations, first and foremost, for that. That is incredible. That's the most important thing, to have that trust and that base love. I would say that what's actually happening, though, sometimes in sexual incompatibility is that for your partner, your lower drive and their high drive creates this risk and reward again, where they're like, I don't know when I'm going to get it. So in many ways, you might actually be doing it more for your partner.
Yeah.
I think that that's just a part of it, too. Maybe sometimes what you need is to be the one to approach. Maybe if your partner's constantly the one knocking on your door, it makes you feel like, oh, not today.
And sometimes he does that. Sometimes he'll pull back and wait for me to come to him. And usually when that happens, it's the best.
Because then you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta work for this. Okay, let me just get my good bra on today.
That helps.
It builds up a little bit.
And go back to flirting with your husband. I feel like that's important to kind of keep that up. I mean, do you ever send sexy texts to each other? You should do that. You should do that. It's your husband. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the coolest things is you willing to acknowledge that you're in a great marriage, 9 years strong.
Yeah.
And we've talked to enough couples on this show where it's 9 years in and it's, oh, we're both miserable. What can we do? And it's like, well, maybe it's time to consider a different route. But I thank you for asking that question. Best of luck to both of you. And thank you for sharing that.